Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this live session today. I want to talk to you about a topic that always brings up controversy with people. Everybody has different opinions about it. They have different feelings when this topic is brought up, but it's something that's very important that will help you understand what I'm talking about and where a lot of what I come from is about. And this is about why you should make more money, why you need to make more money, and why it's important to be able to do that for you to reach your goals as well as go after a lot of the calling and desires and dreams that you have. Okay. Here's the thing. A lot of us, and even, saying this right now, when we hear about making more money, a lot of people think that it means that we took it away from somebody else. Meaning if we get more money, it means it came out of somebody else's pocket and into ours. And really that is not true. Money is a sign of value being exchanged between two people, meaning that when you provide value to the marketplace and you ask for in return for your time, you can leverage that. Now, here's the thing. Why should you want to make more money? The things that you can do when you make more money, and I'm talking about differently from an employee mindset to an entrepreneur mindset, is this. As an employee, if you make more money, it's really just so you have more time freedom, you can pay more bills and are less stressed out. That's as an employee. And if that's your goal, listening to this as an employee, that's fine. What I like to help people do is realize that there's other ways to think, other ways to look at the world around them, and the way that you've been taught your whole life growing up about money, about making money, and about what that all means, the meaning of money, is usually wrong. Here's one of my foundational beliefs, and this might be hard for you to understand. To me, money actually means nothing. By itself, it carries no meaning. It's meaningless. It can do nothing on its own. It just sits there as a paperweight. But when it's in my hands or the hands of you, somebody who is ethical, moral, and upright, we have a desire to go out there and affect the world in a positive way because of it. So being able to hire people to do work with us, create jobs, as well as to donate into causes that we believe in, places that we have a passion, places that we know, if you are feeling a calling to go into a certain area, what if you could mobilize 5,000 people to go into that and lead an army of change in the world by leveraging funds behind that? That's one way that you can use money as well. You are able to take your dreams, your goals that you've written down, things that you actually have to take resources, create things, build things, put them together, hire people to help you put together. There's only a certain amount of hours in the day, and so to leverage your time and hours and energy as well as your goals, you need to make more money to be able to do that. Yet so often we have this feeling like money means something, like it's part of our identity. The first thing to realize is that it by itself and how much you make does not have any basis on who you are as a person. Okay. And if, you're a jerk before you have money, you're going to be a jerk after, and vice versa. But if you're somebody, and I believe that if you're watching this right now, you're somebody that wants to make the world a better place, to help other people, to create things and invent things that have never been created before, and you know inside of you that the morals and integrity that you have would be utilized, and that by creating value in the marketplace, by increasing your marketplace value, especially if you have a product or service that you're offering to people, if you're selling something to maybe 100,000 people for $10, the value of that is still $10 to each person, but you've leveraged it by the amount of people that you're impacting with that. And then the marketplace pays you back for that. Like I said, it's different than an employee mindset versus an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you are able to help families by creating jobs, by, if there's a job that somebody else can do better than you, then it's really your obligation as an entrepreneur to create a job, to hire somebody to do that instead of you trying to do that. And then in that sense, you can best leverage the best use of your time, mental resources, and who you are on planet Earth. Okay. And in that, you have dreams and goals that you've written down. If they're big, like mine are, for instance, let's just do this as an example. Electric cars and virtual reality, certain things like that. I don't have the resources or even knowledge or time to create things in those industries on my own with my own hands. However, if I have certain monetary resources, I can hire people. I can do research. I can hire people to do research for me and create and build something bigger than just myself, creating a community of people that we're working together on this. And sorry, my phone is ringing right here. Google is actually calling me about something that I had called them about, but I apologize. In this, why you should make more money: if you have a dream and a goal and a desire to grow in your life, to have more time freedom, to spend more time with your family, when you have more money to do things and to alleviate the certain stress of being in debt, especially, you can then focus your mental energy on your loved ones, on your calling, on why you were called to do certain things. And listen, this is not about material possessions, about what you can buy and possess and say, look at me. That stuff can come along with it. And I heard this one guy, he didn't buy a expensive sports car until he could buy 100 of them cash. So at that point, it was, go ahead and spend 0.01% of what you're earning on this type of a thing. It's not about material possessions. It's about how you can leverage your time, your energy, and help others and give it away. And by giving it away, sometimes that is hiring help, hiring people to help you with stuff. I cannot, and you cannot do everything that you're called to do if you're watching this right now on your own as an island. And if that's your whole desire, that's great, but there is a ceiling and a cap on where you can get to from there. I can only be in one place at one time. I can only go on a missions trip to one place at one time. But could I help send 50, 100, 500 people? For instance, one of my goals is to be able to fund and influence with finances, revival, and send people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people to affect the kingdom of God and do things on that level. That's just one of my goals personally. And in that, when I choose that I'm going to do actions that will make more money, I'm choosing that this is a decision that I'm going to make. I'm looking at my life and I'm seeing path A, path B, path C, path D. And I am choosing to take action on the things that will increase the money that I'm making and my efficacy in the world for my goals. I'm also not saying that you have to have the same goals as me. All of us have different goals. But in this, especially to be able to save, to invest, to pay your taxes, to do that, making more money allows us more time and freedom. And in this current economy of value exchange, in this economy right now in 2019, monetary resources is how we exchange time, convenience, and resource in that sense to accomplish and do things. And so to be able to do things, to map things out, to go after your goals, a big part of that is to make more money. And then how do you do that? How do you make more money? You're saying, I don't know how to in my current situation. It's about choices to make if your current situation doesn't allow you to, making a choice to change the situation you're in to a place where you can. And if you make that choice and start making a series of choices, they start to build upon each other. And then in a year, 5 years, 10 years from now, you're closer to those goals. You're closer to that. Now, I'm not saying that every single person, it is this. But in that, you need to get really good. If it's not your money as well, maybe casting a vision and asking people for money to help you do certain things. Instead of you making it, if you're the doer, working in a way to where you can bring people on board and enroll them in the vision and the calling that God's had for you to then provide resources, for instance. There's so many different layers to this, and I only really have 10 minutes right here. But this is a foundation to a lot of the concepts I talk about. I just did a podcast this week that I recorded. It's going to be up this next week about this topic. It's an hour long. So I invite you to listen to that. Leave me a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on this and any questions that you might have. And we'll talk soon. See you later, everybody.